What's up, everybody? It's Christi Bintliff, and you are tuning in to another segment of Motoring Motivations. That's right. If you watched any of my previous segments, you know that the routine is, it's just me, my awesome Mini Cooper, and some great dance music in the background that just motivates me to start my day off on a good note. And I'm going to be sharing some words that I hope will motivate you in some small way. So here we are, a week into the new year. I hope everybody is pumped up and excited. You've set your resolutions. You've got your goals set for 2016. You are amped up to make change, whether it's with your body or in your environment or a new job, whatever it is, you are psyched and ready to go. But have you ever noticed that momentum kind of teeters out come the February or even some mid-January? It just sort of you kind of lose your momentum. I think that happens when we don't center ourselves around other people that are sharing the same common goal. And a lot of times I think it just happens because we get so focused, in our jobs and in our families that we often take the focus off of ourselves. So what I wanted to talk to you about is, there's a couple of things that I do in the new year when I'm trying to start off on a good note, and one of them is purging. Now, purging is kind of a twofold thing for me. I look at my physical environment and decide, okay, are these things that I need, and are they things that I use, or are they things that are just taking up space and causing a lot of clutter? And if that's the case, then I will either give that to somebody else that I know can appreciate it, or I get a donation pile and take it to Goodwill or Salvation Army. But I do that to try to keep my environment as structured and organized as possible, because most of us are 80% visual inclined. So if our environment is really cluttered and disorganized, then a lot of times we find that we can't function. It's hard to keep our mind, goal oriented. So I found that that's worked for me. And in regards to my closets, the first of the year, I took all my hangers and turned them the opposite way. And then as I wear something, when I put it back in on the hanger, I turn it, opposite from that. So when I get to the end of the year, whenever I decide to purge, I start looking at all the things I actually wore and loved, and then the things that were in the same way that I put them in January. I know that the chances are I'm just not in love with it anymore, and I'm not going to wear it, and there's no need in it taking up space. So it's out of here. So, it's quite depressing when you get to the end of the year and you're doing things like that, and you've got all these bags of things that you're taking to donation. And for me now, as I'm older, I equate that to money. That money could have been better served somewhere else. And then I started really looking at that I had a pattern, that I was buying things to kind of fill something else that was empty inside. Or, just like you got to have that retail therapy. But none of it was really anything that I needed in the stuff that I was purging out. But purging can also be in a different way. It can be also about clearing your mind of anything that's negative. Negative thoughts are the root of all evil when you're trying to achieve goals and do positive changes in your life, because you'll have these negative thoughts occurring. Well, I can't do this. You've already set yourself up for failure before you even get started. Or, what I want to do is so off the mainstream that nobody is going to buy into it, and therefore, why start something when I know that that's going to be the case? It's just little things like that will kind of hold you back, and you've just got to really, every time that thought comes in, you've got to refocus that on, well, if I achieve this goal, this is going to make me happier, this is going to make my life easier. You just have to start, refocusing those negative thoughts. But purging can also be about purging out, people that are in your life that are extremely negative and have a lot of drama. I'm not going to say that you want to terminate a long-term friendship, but you may have to find yourself a lot of distance there if you know that that person and their negativity and their drama is causing you not to be able to focus and do the things you want to do. So that's just one part of what I do in the new year. It's just kind of purging in all different areas, and I just want you to give that some thought, because if you can kind of alleviate anything that's negative, whether it's in the physical form, in your mind, whatever it is, it can really, once you relieve yourself of those, it can help you focus and get to the task at hand, which is accomplishing some of your resolutions and the goals that you've set. And it's better to start that in the first of the year than kind of get midway through and just realize you've not made any headway. So do the little baby steps now, and I'm relatively confident that within a couple of months you're going to see a lot of positive change. But until next time, I hope you'll stay focused, listen to what I've said, even if you take just a tidbit of what I've said. I hope that it helps you in some small way. So have a great start to your day, and I'll be back